Roll call, please.
Commissioner Lloyd. Commissioner Winfrey.
Here.
Commissioner Getzinger.
Present.
Commissioner Brown. Here. Commissioner Avery.
Here.
Commissioner Shoemaker.
Present.
Commissioner Kuzino. Here. Commissioner Wayhill.
Here.
Commissioner Flewelling.
We will now have our invocation, immediately followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Let us pray. God of truth and mercy, you see more than we can see, and you know us better than we know ourselves. Grant us wisdom for this day to love and to do what is good, to recognize what is harmful, and to choose the path that leads to discernment, reflection, and wise decisions. Teach us to listen more, to seek understanding before judgment, to be slow to anger and quick to show grace. Help us see beyond our fears and desires, show us the consequences of our choices, and give us the courage to do what is right. Guard us from thinking we already know enough, and from despair that believes nothing we do matters. Give us humble minds, steady hearts, and clear eyes. Place around us people who can correct and guide us, and have us learn from them. Let our words bring peace, and our actions reflect justice, kindness, and integrity. At the end of each day, help us to reflect honestly, to receive your forgiveness where we have failed, and to grow more in our wisdom, love, and temperament. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under the approval of meeting minutes, we have Resolution 2026-0098, minutes from December 10th, 2025. What's your pleasure?
So move.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Avery, supported by Commissioner Winfrey. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. We have the minutes from January 7th, 2026. What's your pleasure?
So moved. Support.
Moved and supported by Commissioner Winfrey and I think Dr. Brown. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. And finally, approval of the meeting minutes from January 14th, 2026.
Move approval.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Brown, supported, I believe, by Commissioner Getzinger. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. We now have on our agenda public address. Any member of the public is welcome to step forward and speak for up to 2 minutes at the microphone. If you need to adjust the lectern, there is a little button on there. Please state your name and the city or township or village where you live.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Kevin Keene. I'm on your agenda tonight as a candidate for... I'm on your agenda this evening as a candidate for reappointment to the Bishop International Airport Authority Board of Directors. My name again is Kevin Keene. I reside in the city of Flushing. I have held the position of board member for the airport for 3 years now. I finished a term and have completed a term of my own. I have been selected by the Board of Directors and am currently the treasurer of the Board of Directors for the Airport Authority. My knowledge of airport operations has grown exponentially in these 3 years, and I bring that experience to you as one of the strong points in your consideration of reappointment of myself to that position. Previously, I also held elected office in the city of Flushing. I was the mayor of the city of Flushing for 3 years, served in voluntary capacities prior to that, and a number of nonprofit boards of directors in Genesee County when I was employed by Consumers Energy, from whom I have retired, and I'm enjoying that immensely. Again, I ask you to fervently consider my application and my candidacy for reappointment to the Board of Directors of the Bishop Airport Authority. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we have additional public speakers?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Karen Miller. I'm from Flint Township. I'm the supervisor in Flint Township, and technically I'm not still a member of the airport board because our terms expired on December 31st. and I'm a candidate for your consideration, and I would ask for your support for reappointment. Thank you.
Do we have additional public speakers?
Good evening. My name is Amanda Moore Tesserero, and I am from Shorts Creek, Michigan. I am also here for the Airport Authority Board, and I hope that you guys took extra special time to look at the resume that I submitted. I do have an extensive background in the airline industry, having worked there starting in about 2014. And I've worked in just about every airport that American Airlines flies in the Northeast region, as well as doing station managing up in Marquette. In my experience here in the city of Flint and the airport here, I love it. I think it's great, and I look forward to hoping to be able to add value to our airport and to our region. Thank you.
Is there additional public comment?
Good evening. My name is Dr. Tanya Bailey. I live in Flint Township, and I am an applicant for the commissioners for Bishop Airport. Just wanted to put a face with all of my credentials and resume for those for you to see. I have over 30-some years in leadership, executive leadership, strategic planning. Believe that I can add value to the direction that I believe the airport needs to go into. I'm also a native of Flint, born and raised here. And so I care deeply about this community and this county, and I would love to be a public servant in this capacity. Thank you so very much.
Is there additional public comment?
My name is Marcus Garvin. I grew up here in Genesee County. I was in the U.S. Army for 6 years, 3 tours to Iraq. Went to school right over here. I worked Child Protective Services here in Genesee County for a number of years. I'm currently the Deputy Director for the North Oakland Transportation Authority. I'm a candidate for the board position here tonight, and I just wanted to put a face to a name. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have additional speakers for public address?
I'm Dr. Susan Hendrick of Grand Blanc, Michigan, and I'm not actually a candidate. I'm here in regards to flat cameras, and I understand that these have been helpful in law enforcement, and I understand that, but they're now being accessible by ICE, and this is putting all of us in our county at risk, as well as invading our privacy for those of us, because we're now being tracked. It's not supposed to be, but the flock company is in fact allowing access to that, and you need to consider whether you're protecting your citizens if you are allowing that. Thank you.
Is there additional public address?
Hello, my name is Robert Link, and I live in Atlas Township. For Resolution 2026-0079, to grant or deny the appeal of a FOIA request, should that appeal be granted, the requester would like to modify the date and time on the request because enough time has passed that the records in question may have been destroyed. The new date and times for that request are January 26th, 2026, between the hours of 16:50 and 17:20. And then for Resolution 2025-2833 for renewing the flock camera contract. I've been reading through the Region 3 Homeland Security Grant. This is the grant that is paying for the flock surveillance cameras, and a couple things caught my attention on the alignment and allowability form. It mentions that we are using the money for intelligence and information sharing, and then goes on in the intended use section to say, information gathered from this equipment can assist law enforcement in effectively sharing relevant, timely, and actionable information analysis with local, state, tribal, territorial, federal, private sector, and international partners. Are we really sharing our flock image data with federal, private sector, and international partners? This seems like a bit of an overreach that we should look into and discuss further before voting yes to the renewal. Thank you.
Do we have additional public address? Going twice. Additional public address the third time. Public address is closed. Under communications, we have a number of presentations. The first one is 26-048, Senior Services Task Force Update. Derek, I don't know if you're starting or if we're going right to the folks that are doing the work. Please step forward and the floor, introduce yourself and the floor will be yours.
I don't want to be on my tiptoes. Hello, everyone. My name is Sandra Murphy. I live in Flushing Township, and I'm pleased to be here with you this evening to give you an update on what the Senior Military Task Force has been up to. We have a few members of the task force in the audience, and I'm going to read everyone's name that's on the task force to sort of refresh your memories. But when I say your names, wave or stand, that would be wonderful. District 1 is Helen Walker. District 2 is Elizabeth Taylor. District 3 is Richard Richardson, who is the chair of our task force. District 4, Kathy Bowles. District 5, Gary Hajek. District 6 is Russ Perkins. District 7 is Lisa Gulliver. And District 8 is me. District 9 is Casey Clark. So thank you for your work. Yes. Because while we are seniors, we take this very seriously in terms of what we're doing. And we spend hours. We have spent hours already in this work and are committed to making sure that we answer the questions that you have. So there was a document that was prepared, and I believe that you have it. It outlines by month the meetings that we've had and what the focus of those meetings has been. In addition, what we're going to be doing over the next few months. We've got a very tight timeline to be able to get through all of this. And so I have a few prepared remarks that I'm going to share with you. And then if you've got questions or comments, I would happily entertain those. I want you to know that we have been ever mindful of what our task is at every single meeting. Our chair has made sure that that document that authorized us is, the key wording is there in front of us at every meeting because it's been difficult to not go down rabbit holes. But we've been very good at staying at the big picture view. We've got a very diverse group of people who are consistently there. We've got 7 that are consistently with us, so I think that we've got great representation. All of us bring our own personal senior experience, either from our families, from our communities, from the work that we did before we retired. So you did a great job of identifying people. Kudos to you. I want to take a moment to commend the staff that has been working with the task force. That's Derek Bradshaw, Lynn Razdolowski, and Gwyneth Couselman. I may have mispronounced their names, but they're doing a wonderful job. They have been the ones that have been providing these kinds of documents to us. As a former preschool teacher, I value very much the audio-visual, and they're this big because we're seniors. That's all I'm going to say about that. But what I want you to know is that these documents have provided us with some very high-level information by which we're going to be able to make our recommendations. What we've been able to see in all of this is the wide variety of programs and services that are currently being offered and have been offered over many, many years through this millage. We're also looking at historical levels of funding for various services. That's been very important. Critical in my mind was that we asked that every service be mapped as to where it's being delivered in the county. And by looking at those documents, we're able to see clusters of certain types of services that are being provided. Again, a very important piece, because while I live in Flushing Township and I worked in Flint and I traveled throughout the county with my work, I don't know it as well as somebody who lives at the north end of Flint or who lives down in Fenton or in Mundy Township. So these maps help us get a better sense of where the service delivery is. And the other thing is that we've looked at population trends and data. And this may not be a surprise to you, but we are an aging county. We're getting older by the minute. And we're going to see some bulges happening with the population as we look to the future. All of it we're going to be taking into consideration as we make our recommendations. So in the future, we're going to be hearing from what I call content experts. That's at our February meeting. We're bringing in people to help us better understand the trends and the future needs of the senior population. I'd like to point out early on that we as a group decided not to have individual service providers and senior centers come and make presentations to us. We know that they are their biggest cheerleaders, and that's the way that it should be. We relied on staff to give us the very high-level view of what all of these services are, and I think that that has been more than adequate for what we need to know. Let's see, what else have we got here? I do want you to know that we did establish an email for the public to present information to us. There were some requests that came to me personally. I wanted what came to me to be shared with the entire task force, and so with the help of the staff, we established this email so anybody that goes to the Genesee County website would have access to that and could submit something. It then would be brought to the entire task force at the next meeting that we have. So with that, I just want to say we take this very seriously. This is a big job. And while I'm sure we're going to be able to give you some priorities, I'm confident we're also going to be providing you systemic recommendations for how you, in your leadership roles, might be able to handle this going forward in the future. The circumstances by which we have this task force may not have been the best thing, but what we want to be able to do is make sure going forward that staff and the commissioners are up to date on all of what's happening with this millage. With that, I'll end my remarks. Thank you.
Do we have any questions for Sandra? Commissioner Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Ms. Murphy, for coming to share that update with us.
Sure.
I wondered if you could state out loud for the public's purpose that email address.
Sure. It is on here, I think. Yes. It is the Senior Task Force at GeneseeCountyMI.gov.
Thank you. And one final comment. It sounds like the task force is doing exactly what it should be doing, and we applaud you and the leadership and every single person who is serving on that task force for the work that you've done so far. A few commissioners have been having a conversation about having an objective complementary study done in conjunction with the work that you're doing. And so we've had some conversations with Michigan State University and their researchers who may be willing to present a proposal to us to do an independent study that we might use in concert with the work that you're doing. Is that something that you guys would entertain?
Well, I know I'd be interested in that for sure. I know we have talked about, especially given who's coming in this next meeting, the need to have outside data and deeper thinkers presenting to us. So I would say yes, we would.
Okay.
Fitting it into our schedule or however it might happen, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we have additional questions? So I'll just compliment all of you. I've said this in this room before. I haven't attended any of the meetings, but I watch them on YouTube, the county's YouTube channel, and you all are doing, I think, very diligent work of good citizens, looking at an issue where we need some help in understanding it better so we can make good decisions. So thank you for what you're doing.
Sure. Thank you.
We have another presentation. The next one is from Plant Moran Prescription Drug Coverage. They're coming forward. If you would identify yourselves and tell us who you are for the record.
Good evening, Anita Galida, Human Resources Director.
Jonathan Trianfi from Plant Moran.
So, and Emily is actually with us, but she is remote. So you'll be able to see her as you're going to be watching the presentation, but she will be able to speak to some of the slides as Jonathan goes through them. Not too long ago, you heard from both Emily and Jonathan about our prescription coverage provider, and that's what they're here again to talk about in relation to our retiree healthcare population for prescription drugs. He's gonna change it, so just
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me here tonight. I'd like to talk a little bit about the retiree prescription drug benefits, and specifically, as we go through this this evening, we'll be discussing a segment of the retirees, more legacy retirees. These are retirees that whose benefits through the county do not mirror what active employees receive. Okay, so it's a different set of retirees, I guess you could say. So first things first, with the background, if we could go to the next page. So the county has had prescription drug benefits administered through a pharmacy benefit manager, or PBM as they're usually called, of Express Scripts for the last number of years. One of the things that we've identified in the work that we're doing with the county is that prescription drugs, and this is really for the county no different than almost any employer, that prescription drugs continues to be a major driver of costs of benefits for employers. We did an RFP a couple years ago, and Express Scripts was awarded the business, even though we had explored some other options with some of the other larger scale changes that had been made to the county's benefit plans. It was really determined that it might be too much too soon to make that change. But we entered into that agreement a couple years ago knowing that we were going to do another procurement process in about 2 years. And this is really the result of that process. Pharmacy costs continue to rise at the county, for the county. In general, the inflationary adjustment on prescription drugs is about 14 to 18% a year right now. Like I mentioned, the costs are going up much faster than general inflation. Part of that, by the way, introduction of new medications, some of the GLP-1 medications that are en vogue right now, that type of thing. Okay. The other thing we've noticed is that county plan participants on average consume more prescription drugs than the average person if we're just looking broad baseline. Okay. A number of years ago, the county did move PBMs, and the reason we think that that's important to note is a change in PBM is not necessarily a new practice. It's not something that the county hasn't done in the past, even the recent past. And the last thing to note, and I know this is another agenda item in the communication portion of the agenda, the county's health plan continues to run over budget in terms of cost projections, and prescription drugs is a big contributor to that. So if we could go to the next slide. What we're here to recommend is that the county consider the same action that was taken for the active employees and frankly the retirees that mirror active employees, and switch the pharmacy benefit manager to a company called SmithRx. First and foremost, we think that change and SmithRx as an organization actually follows a lot of what's happening right now at the federal level in terms of scrutiny that PBMs are under. So this is very, very recent. I believe the Senate either heard some of this either Monday or yesterday. But the idea is that these PBMs are under a lot of scrutiny because of how they hide their revenue and how they're contributing to the overall increase in healthcare costs across the U.S. Okay. So SmithRx only is compensated via administrative fees. What they are not doing is playing with the drug costs in order to collect revenue off of the cost of a medication. For example, if a drug costs $3, they're going to charge $8 and keep the difference as their compensation. Okay? So SmithRx does not do or perform those practices. Instead, they're compensated entirely off of an administrative fee. What that does is it makes what the county is paying for these services completely transparent. And that's very difficult to accomplish in the world of prescription drugs. We've done our analysis and have estimated that there would be about an 8% reduction, or about $360,000 reduction in prescription drug costs associated with this move. The other thing is that in the event that the county renews its existing contracts through RX Benefits, which is kind of a front for Express Scripts, it will require a 3-year contract. The reason that we are not proponents of 3-year contracts in the pharmaceutical space is that by the end of those 3-year contracts, they're highly uncompetitive, and it's very much skewed towards the PBM in terms of who's benefiting from that contract. Okay? The other thing is we didn't want to, if this sounds familiar, like Anita said, we were out here about a month ago talking about a very similar subject, so there's more background in some of that information that we presented previously. Okay. So to continue on, if we could go to the next page, what we're recommending outside of just a move or contracting with a new pharmacy benefit manager is some plan design consolidation and frankly improvement for some retirees. Okay, so the idea is we want to keep the copays that retirees are paying right now, the structural part of that benefit plan design, we either want to keep it equal or make it better than what they have right now. Okay? So one of the things that we've done, for example, some retirees, they have a flat $2 drug copay or a flat $3 drug copay. One of the things that we're recommending is that the county actually remove that copay, make it 0 in some cases, for generic medications, so that there are actually some dollar differences to create some financial incentive for retirees to take generic medications, which on average are lower cost than the brands, without necessarily increasing the cost that they would pay for the brand if they want to continue. So what we've done, you can see here, what we've done is we're really mapping some of the current plan designs to new plan designs that have copay structures that are equal or better than what those retirees have right now. The other thing that comes along with the SmithRx arrangement is they will help retirees that take more expensive medications sign up for manufacturer's assistance. So sometimes drug manufacturers will actually provide financial assistance to people that are taking really expensive medications. It's a way for those drug manufacturers to make sure that people can actually access their products. And so what SmithRx will do is help those retirees sign up for that assistance, and the net result will be that they pay $0 for those medications. The other side of that is the county ends up paying a reduced amount and sometimes also 0 for those medications. So it's effectively shifting some of that responsibility, financial responsibility, onto the drug manufacturer. Some of those more aggressive programs are income-based. And some retirees, not every retiree is in the same situation financially, but in general, when you think about retirees, especially some of the more legacy retirees, they're going to be on, limited income. It's going to be defined by their pension or whatever it might be. So there could be a higher likelihood that some of those retirees could qualify for the assistance programs through the drug manufacturers. The other thing that we did was we took a look at how many retirees would be impacted by this change. And so when I say impacted, we're really looking at any impact, meaning would they have to change the pharmacy? Would they have to get a new prescription? Would they maybe even have to change a medication? And so we saw about 14.5% of plan members, or about 107 members, would have some type of impact by this change. Now, a lot of those folks would be impacted possibly by having to switch like mail order pharmacy. So right now, the mail order pharmacy is a company called Accredo. Under this new arrangement with SmithRx, the preferred mail order would be through Costco. So it would just be a matter of filling the script through another pharmacy or another mail order pharmacy. Now, if we could go to the next page, savings are important, but we also think that it's very important to make these types of changes in the context of a broader strategic plan around benefits. And we think that the SmithRx arrangement and the way they do business is more aligned with what we're trying to accomplish here at the county. First of all, aligned incentives. We want the organization that's helping you manage and helping the county manage costs to have the right incentives in place, right? If a pharmacy benefit manager is being paid more as people are taking more expensive medications, you can pretty much rest assured that people are going to take more expensive medications because they make more if that happens. Okay. The other thing is that we think there's going to be a lot more scrutiny towards employers relative to these arrangements and whether or not the employers spending plan assets fairly and correctly. And we think that the way that SmithRx is compensated and the way they do business is going to help you achieve that end. We also think that helping retirees access some of these manufacturing assistance programs will help them reduce some of their costs. And the other thing is, you know, we want to start taking advantage of some of the modernization that's going on in this industry. For example, you may have heard of Mark Cuban's Cost Plus program. This PBM utilizes, you can actually purchase your medication and have it covered through the county's plan if SmithRx is the PBM. That would not be the case if the current arrangement is kept in place. Okay. So if we could go one more page after this. So just a couple things to note. Really, the deck is kind of stacked towards the SmithRx arrangement in terms of the features that are included with the arrangement. Really, the one negative I mentioned earlier is that some people that are getting their medications filled via mail are going to have to switch from Accredo to the Costco mail order. So that entails getting a new script and submitting it to the mail order pharmacy. That said, though, everything else in terms of the ability to address costs, lower retirees' out-of-pocket costs, those types of things, all really stack in favor of SmithRx. And if we could go to the last page. We did have some links in there about this topic more broadly, not as it relates to the county, but just in general. As I mentioned earlier, this topic is getting a lot of attention, local level, federal level, and we don't think it's going to end. There are a lot of practices in this industry that would not make many people feel good if they, if you really peel back the onion. And as folks are taking a deeper look at these organizations, some of the stuff's coming to light, and we think there's going to be increased scrutiny around how these organizations are doing business. In fact, the state of Florida it just passed some legislation around how these organizations operate. And as you can imagine, some of the larger organizations like CVS Caremark, Express Scripts, they're already responding and reorging in order to get around some of that state level legislation. So the idea is we really want to stay ahead of this and work with a good actor in the space. So really what we're asking is for your consideration and our recommendation to move those retirees to SmithRx to deliver the prescription drug benefits moving forward.
Is there Commissioner Cousineau?
Yeah, What is the timeline that we have to make a decision? When is the current contract up, is my point.
June 1st. Emily, keep me honest on that. It's June 1st, correct? June 1st, okay.
Okay, that's fine, I understand there's a lot of complexities to it. I would like to see it on one of our workshop meetings between now and then, sooner as opposed to later, but, that's my recommendation.
All right, do we have additional discussion, questions? Commissioner Shoemaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for being here. Okay. Again, thank you for being here. How long ago did we switch to the Express Scripts? Was that 3 years ago or more?
So the Express Scripts relationship through RX Benefits was 2 years ago, maybe less than 2 years, about a year and a half ago. And prior to that, the Express Scripts relationship actually predates.
Probably 2005.
So all the way back to 2005?
Yes. And that, if I'm not mistaken, that is when the relationship was carved out from Blue Cross Blue Shield.
I am, if I may continue.
You may.
I'm with the finance chair. I think we need to, this is a big decision. I think we need to be very transparent about what we're doing to avoid backlash with employees and everyone else. So I would like to see it also on a workshop as soon as possible, and maybe have the team come in and actually have a conversation. We can develop some deeper questions at that time. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Do we have additional questions, comments? So our next workshop is February the 25th, and we'll work with the two of you and your team.
Yeah, so the workshop is an excellent idea, but I just want to kind of bring to your attention that June 1st isn't when we need the decision by. If the change is going to happen June 1st, we have to start that process no less than 90 days before. And that means a contract signed before that, just to give you an idea of how the transition happens and the time that's needed.
So that means if we were to consider it at a workshop as a non-voting item, as a non-resolution, that we would have very little time,
Would have very little
maybe
time.
no time, if it's 90 days.
To add to that, we're also preparing for open enrollment, which happens at the end of March. So don't mean to pressure you. I'm not trying to do that at all. I just want you to understand the timeline.
Commissioner Shoemaker.
Real quick, is this something we knew we were going to have to do by then?
No, you just voted on this to change the pharmacy provider in December. So we were putting this together to get in front of you to make the recommendation. And the unfortunate side is the contracts with Express Scripts, while they're not very transparent and not very friendly as pricing goes, they're also 3 years. So we will be locked in with them for a minimum of 3 years before we could revisit this. So that's why it's unfortunate, the timing of it. We weren't sure that we were going to change with the actives, so we didn't want to get the retiree decision in front of actives.
Commissioner Shoemaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In that contract, normally I ask when we produce any contract with any vendor that we have an opt-out clause. There's no opt-out clause in that contract?
There was. Usually those contracts are 3 years, but as I mentioned, the last one we entered into is actually 2 years. And we anticipated not wanting to be in that contract for 3 years, so we did negotiate an opt-out after that second year. And that's the opt-out that we're trying to exercise. Yes, but the rates, the terms of those contracts, there's give and take, right? So the pricing, to have an opt-out like that, you're actually giving on pricing in order to give yourself the flexibility. So to be clear, the contracts with Smith RX are 1-year contracts. And the reason they do that is they want to provide the best pricing on medications that they're able to. And by having 1-year contracts, if they're able to negotiate something on their end they can immediately pass that back to their clients, like the county.
Commissioner Shoemaker.
I want to go back to the opt-out piece. It's an annual opt-out instead of at any time? Is that what I'm understanding? So we went 2 years, the contract really was for 2 years with not an opt-out. It's either you renew or not. So there really isn't an opt-out. Because an opt-out is guess what? At any time the parties agree that this relationship isn't working for either one, you can opt out. So it's really not an opt-out clause. It's more we just signed a 2-year contract.
There is a third year to the contract, but I think when we approached it, there really wasn't much of an anticipation that we were going to take that third year. We kind of knew we were going to opt out because the terms associated with that third year are not favorable. We knew we would try and even if the county did not want to change PBMs, we were going to renegotiate the terms of that contract after the second year.
Commissioner Shoemaker.
I apologize. I hope
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
fine.
over my time, but this is brought in front of us tonight, and I didn't have a chance in subcommittee to talk about it. If we sign with Smith RX, we really should be almost after the time we sign with them, starting to look for next year for pricing the following year, because we obviously don't want this to come up. Would you agree that that's probably the best case? We should, at that point, be looking forward. Sometimes a longer contract is also there to protect you and the vendor to make sure that, guess what, they can guarantee on those funds coming in, so they can go a little lower on their discount because they know they're going to have those for longer. So sometimes a longer contract is not always the worst thing, but thank you for the information, Mr. Chair. I don't know how you want to, because that June 1st deadline in 90 days, you back that up. We have to approve something by the end of
Next month.
February then. So we might have to have an additional workshop. Thank you.
Commissioner Lloyd.
Is there, thank you for the presentation and the information. Is there room possibility of adding this to the workshop that we have next week? It seems like this is probably, I mean, I don't know what we have already identified, but this seems to be.
So we don't have a meeting next week.
Workshop next week that's scheduled, correct?
No. Our next workshop would be February 25th, which puts us up right against the 90 days. Another option, well, I thought maybe you were going to suggest we hold a workshop next week.
I thought I was looking at the calendar earlier today.
We have next week off at the moment, but if there's interest in having, an hour-long workshop that would be open to the public by open meetings, we could do that. What's your pleasure?
Well, I just, like I said earlier, sooner the better, not knowing that was the exact deadline, but
Right.
I'm willing to come in an extra day on Wednesday of next week,
You are willing to do that? Is that, okay.
as long as it's not at 10 o'clock.
Let's set a workshop for next Wednesday at 5:30. Why don't we say 5:30 to 7, and if we end early, we're done early. Are you folks able to be there?
I left my phone back at my seat. I will check it and
Okay.
confirm it, but I do believe we'll
Okay.
be available. Yeah.
Do we have additional discussion? Questions? All right, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Our next presentation is an update on our annual audit by our Chief Financial Officer, Crystal Simpson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm here for you tonight. I kind of had a good news, good news sandwich for you. First of all, we'll talk about the preliminary results for fiscal year '25. The audit is still underway, so there is a potential that the auditors could have adjustments, but we don't anticipate any at this point. We did have a budgeted use of fund balance of about $101,000. Our actual results, pending any adjustments from the auditors, would be to increase fund balance by $7.5 million. Some key highlights related to that. Some of the under budget amounts are related to staff vacancies. We have been making a habit of quarterly looking at any staff vacancies, sweeping those funds over to the capital project fund so that we can fund those large capital projects that we have. But this fiscal year, we had some union contracts that had not settled by the end of September. So we didn't want to cut ourselves short, not knowing if any of those would have retro pay, how much that retro pay might be. So we did not do some of those sweeps like we normally do. Another item under facilities and operations, they were under budget by 1.9 million. If you recall, we did approve a jail netting project that was just about 1.5 million. Due to the timing of the completion of some of that work, there was very small amounts expensed before the end of the fiscal year 25. There is an item on the agenda this evening to reestablish that budget for 26 to utilize the fund balance that we have from 25 to fund that project to complete it in fiscal year 26. Collectively, the court's budget was under budget by 1.4 million. The sheriff's department was under budget by 1.2. That was primarily related to staffing vacancies. And then at the beginning of the fiscal year, we budget transfers out based on what the required matches are for grants. In the event that they don't spend the amount that they anticipated, we do sweep back those funds back to general fund. So that was about 927,000 of that balance. We did have some other miscellaneous departments under budget as well, but those were the key factors that drove us being under budget by that much. I don't know if you have any questions related to that.
Any questions for our CFO? Commissioner Lloyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Crystal, for the work you and your team do. What is the dollar amount associated with the union contracts?
We did have a retro pay adjustment. It was much lower than we anticipated. When we went into arbitration, there was our last best offer versus theirs. I can get you that number, but I don't know it off the top of my head, but I can get it.
Do you have a ballpark? You can, just in the reference of the 7 million, just curious what's the ballpark. If you don't, it's okay.
So that wasn't related to the savings. That's the amount that once we had the settlement of the contract, we recorded it back to fiscal year 25. So the savings of their entire department, if you rolled it all up, was 1.2 million, and that was all related to staffing vacancies after the retro pay was recorded.
I have another question related to union contracts. I've kind of lost track of what is the ultimate dollar amount that we've now budgeted or committed. I'll ask you offline because it's going to be pretty detailed.
Okay,
I'll ask you offline.
Okay.
Do we have additional questions or discussion for Crystal? All right, thank you. We appreciate your good work. It looks like you're also on deck for the next one.
So the next item is my bad news, good news, rest of the sandwich. We have a fund.
I'm glad you put the bad news after that.
We do have a fund that accounts for our active health care. We also have a trust that accounts for our retiree health care. As you may recall, at the beginning of what they call the benefit plan year, we established those premium equivalent rates. That's driven by our most recent claims that people in the plan have used, inflationary trends that are expected based on projections, fixed and admin fees that we have related to those costs, and then any other assumptions that are made. So if the board decided to do a change in plan, that's also incorporated into those premium equivalent rates. We do follow Public Act 152. We utilize that hard cap. So once we establish those rates, each pay period, money goes into these funds to cover the cost of those fees. So while that's a good way to establish those rates, we can't control when things happen, when people have higher use of the plan. We had overall higher utilization last fiscal year. You may have people come in that have an increased need for services. High cost therapies may come into play, if something medical disaster happens and someone needs that treatment. Or if you have, a new person coming into the county that wasn't here at the beginning of that benefit plan year, you can't incorporate their claims history because we don't have that data at the time. So we had higher overall utilization, several high cost claimants just because of items that happened this year. And then they touched on it earlier, some high brand name prescription costs, as well as specialty pharmacy utilization related to some of those prescriptions. So when we compare our fiscal year 25 and look back at fiscal year 24, We had less rebates that came in, so typically if there was higher utilization, we would have higher rebates, but some of those rebates ended. And then stop-loss reimbursements. In '24, we had some people that hit that stop-loss limit, because we are self-insured. We do have that stop-loss coverage. But we had less people hit that cap before the end of the fiscal year. So our year-end adjustments related to those items, which would bring in, receivables, was a lot lower. So at the end of the fiscal year '25, that fund did end with a deficit of $2.7 million. We will be required to file a deficit elimination plan with the state of Michigan. They do allow a 5-year period for us to to fund that deficit in that fund. You will see that coming forward at a future meeting. It does need board approval before it's sent on to the state. My thoughts at this point as we move forward with that plan, since we just talked about the better than actual results for fiscal year '25, would be that we do that one-time transfer into that healthcare fund, as opposed to trying each 5 years now for each budget cycle, fitting in another $540,000 transfer to cover that deficit. And then back to the good news, the retiree healthcare fund actually trended under budget. So they were able to add about $1.5 million to the assets that they have set aside for retiree healthcare. So we didn't have the same issue on the retiree side as we had on the active healthcare side.
Do we have discussion, questions? Anyone? Commissioner Cousineau.
Yeah, I did. I want to thank you, Crystal. I asked Crystal to come and give this report so that an effort to keep everybody updated more than what we have in the past. So thank you, Crystal.
Sure.
And I told her to keep it to 3 to 4 minutes.
I did try to talk fast. He said try to keep it 3 to 4 minutes, so hopefully I did all right.
Thank you, Crystal. Anything else from anyone? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Crystal.
Our final presentation of the evening, or communication, I should say, is the 2026 Action Plan update from Derek Bradshaw.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chair. In your packet, you have a list of projects. These are the projects that our communities select for our Community Development Block Grant. It's a 3-year call for projects. So just bringing it to your attention, you will see for final approval these projects. We're going to allocation in March, so right after that you'll see something come back for the board for final approval. So just to remind you of the projects that are coming in for this year. So that's all I have.
Any questions for Derek? Thank you, Derek. Next item on our agenda is appointments. The Appointments Committee is a special committee chaired by Commissioner Shoemaker and vice chaired by Commissioner Winfrey. I'm going to throw it to Commissioner Shoemaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To start off with Resolution 2026-0008, I wanted to clarify this is not an appointment through the actual committee where we've actually taken applications or anything else like that. This is a reappointment. It's nothing that goes through the appointment committee, though, to be clear with that, so the board knows. I will start the resolution. Approval of the reappointment of Dr. Brian C. Hunter to serve at the Genesee County Medical Examiner's Office.
Move it.
I have a motion.
It's been moved and supported. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
I have Resolution 2026-0009, approval of a reappointment of Dr. John Baczynski, I think, sorry if I slayed that, as Genesee County Deputy Medical Examiner.
Move it.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Okay. Resolution 2026-0010. This, so the residents know, is, and these are the commissioner appointments. I would like to move 10 and 11 at the same time, if it pleases the board.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. Is there discussion on resolutions 10 and 11? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
For the following two resolutions, 12 and 97. So everyone understands how these are made. We did send out requests for applicants. We had applicants for the Parks Board. These recommendations are made by the chair and brought to the board. This process is a little different than the other process we follow. So as we move forward, if we could, in case there's anyone who disagrees, so it's clear this time, if we could have roll call after each one of these, so it's just a little clear where everyone stands. Resolution 2026-0012, approval of the reappointment of Ann Figueroa, did I say that right, to the Genesee County Parks and Recreations Commission. This is a 3-year term and will expire on 1/1/29.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there discussion? Madam Clerk, would you, or Mr. Clerk, sorry, would you call the roll or the vote?
Commissioner Lloyd?
Yes.
Commissioner Winfrey?
Yes.
Commissioner Getzinger?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Avery?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
No.
Commissioner Kuznow?
Yes.
Commissioner Wayhill?
Yes.
Commissioner Flewelling? Absent, sorry.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Resolution 2026-0097, approval of the appointment of Travis Howell to the Genesee County Parks and Recreation Commission. This is a 3-year term that will expire 1/1/29.
I'll move it. Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there discussion? Roll call, Mr. Clerk?
Commissioner Lloyd?
Yes.
Commissioner Winfrey?
Yes.
Commissioner Getzinger?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Avery? Yes. Commissioner Shoemaker?
No.
Commissioner Kuznow?
Yes.
Commissioner Wayhill?
Yes. Motion is carried.
Resolution 2026-0107, approval of 2 appointments by the Bishop Airport Authority for the 3-year term expiring 12/31/28. To move forward with this, what we will do is start with the first district. Obviously, they will say their name. We will vote. If there's no unanimous party that wins, we'll take the top 2, and then we'll follow through with those top 2. So,
Commissioner, you normally nominate the entire slate, right?
yes, I am
Oh.
nominating the entire slate with the motion.
Is there a second?
Support.
It's been moved and supported. We don't typically have discussion, so I'll have the clerk call on the nominations. Okay. All right, so any discussion on the nominations? They're nominated, sorry. And now we call the vote? All right, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Lloyd,
Lottie Ferguson.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Karen Miller.
Commissioner Getzinger,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Brown,
Karen Miller.
Commissioner Avery,
Karen Miller.
Commissioner Shoemaker.
Tosto.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
John Tosto.
Commissioner Kuznow,
Karen Miller.
Commissioner Wayhill,
Karen Miller. So 5 votes.
5 votes for
Go ahead.
Karen Miller.
So that means Ms. Miller is reelected to the Bishop Airport Authority Board. Congratulations. You're welcome. Commissioner Shoemaker, do you want to?
If you want, go
Mr.
ahead.
Chair, point of order.
Mr. Lloyd.
Our appointment process, doesn't our appointment process lead us to take the top 2 vote getters to the next round? Or,
Only if no one gets a majority.
okay,
Is
okay.
it- Am I right about that?
I was just curious.
So we had a majority with 5
First
for
round.
Miller.
Okay. And I was
Yes.
just curious, because this is the rank choice is a new voting process for us, so it's the first time that I'm aware of where we had candidates, and then we ended up with the one. So I just wanted to clarify because I know we have some other positions where
I
we
think
have.
it's fair to say that usually when we do this, when it's a crowded field, we almost never get a majority on the first ballot, so I think that's kind of what you're thinking about, where we go to a second ballot, so,
Absolutely. Thank you.
sure. Well, Madam Clerk, we're now on the second spot for the Bishop Airport Authority Board. Would you call the vote?
Commissioner Lloyd,
Kevin King.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Dr. Tanya Bailey.
Commissioner Getzinger,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Brown,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Avery,
Dr. Tanya Bailey.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Brian Norman.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Kevin Keen.
Commissioner Wayhill,
Kevin Keen.
no one has 5 votes. We've got 1 for Brian Norman, 2 for Dr. Tanya Bailey, 2 for John Tosto, and 3 for Kevin Keene.
We'll now have a second round of voting. Our top 2 are Mr. Keen and Tosto, is that right?
No, we have a tie.
We have a
for
tie?
second.
So the top 3, Tosto, Keen, and Bailey. Would you please call the vote, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Winfrey,
Dr. Tanya Bailey.
Commissioner Getzinger,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Brown,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Avery,
Dr. Tanya Bailey.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Kevin Keen.
Commissioner Wayhill,
John Tosto.
got 4 for John Tosto,
Del Rey,
1.
could you
Everybody
vote?
didn't vote. I didn't get a
Oh,
chance to
I'm
vote.
Commissioner Lloyd,
Tanya Bailey.
okay, we have 3 for Dr. Tanya Bailey. We have 4 for John Tosto and 1 for Kevin Keene. Nobody has received the 5 votes.
All right.
So we'll take the top 2.
What's that?
We'll take the top 2 then.
Top 2, is that what we do now? Okay. So now the top 2 are Dr. Tanya Bailey and Mr. John Tosto. Madam Clerk, would you call the vote?
Commissioner Getzinger,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Brown,
Dr. Bailey.
Commissioner Avery,
Dr. Bailey.
Commissioner Kuzno,
John Tosto.
sorry, Commissioner Shoemaker,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Wayhill,
John Tosto.
Commissioner Lloyd,
Dr. Bailey.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Dr. Bailey.
we have 4 and 4.
Mr. Chair, may I recommend what we did last time is start where we are right now. When we return at the next meeting, we'll have hopefully a 5 and 4 vote at that point, because we will have an additional member, if that would please the board.
Would it be proper to have an official motion to postpone? Why don't we postpone to the?
Yes, I am.
I
Yes.
second it.
Okay, moved and supported to postpone. Hopefully, the audience realizes what's happening. We've got 8 commissioners here tonight, so we have a tie. The top 2 candidates are John Tosto and Dr. Tanya Bailey. We will have this as an agenda item on our February full Board of Commissioners meeting. The motion's been made and supported. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Resolution 2026-0109, approval of an appointment of 1 commissioner to serve as Genesee County Opioid Settlement Steering Committee, we have one candidate, the chair, Commissioner Wayhill.
Move it.
Support.
Moved and supported. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Resolution 2026-0110, approval of one appointment to the Genesee County Opioid Steering Settlement Committee, expertise and substance use disorder. The following candidates, I'd like to put them all forward.
All right. Madam Clerk, would you please call the vote?
Commissioner Lloyd?
Are we on number 9, resolution 2026-0110?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excuse me. Joshua, number 1, the first nominee.
It's Gross.
Gross?
Commissioner Winfrey?
Joshua Gross.
Commissioner Getzinger?
Deborah Hammond.
Commissioner Brown?
Joshua Gross.
Commissioner Avery?
Joshua Gross.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
Deborah Hammond.
Commissioner Kuzno?
Gross.
Commissioner Wayhill?
Joshua Gross.
Commissioner Flewelling?
Will you announce the vote for us? I know there's a majority for Gross, right?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Gross is selected to be the member of the Opioid Steering Committee in the category of experience with substance use disorder, excuse me. Commissioner Shoemaker?
Resolution 2026-0111, approval of one appointee to the Genesee County Opioid Settlement Steering Committee, expertise in substance behavioral health. I nominate all 5 candidates. Except, I'm sorry, 1, yes, because they have been, thank you, Mr. Freeman.
Yep, so Mr. Gross is removed from consideration on this motion. So numbers 2 through 5 are under consideration. Madam Clerk, would you call the vote?
Commissioner Lloyd?
Deborah Hammond.
Commissioner Winfrey?
Deborah Hammond.
Commissioner Getzinger?
Kelly Merrill.
Commissioner Brown?
Deborah Hammond.
Commissioner Avery?
Deborah Hammond.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
Kelly Merrill.
Commissioner Kuzno?
Deborah Hammond.
Commissioner Wayhill?
Deborah Hammond. So I believe Ms. Hammond has enough votes, so she's selected to be on the steering committee in the category of substance behavioral health. Mr. Shoemaker.
Well, we've kind of created a conundrum for ourselves here. That's kind of why I laid out my vote the way I did, because now we only have for Resolution 11 and 12, one candidate, because Jason Gould has removed his name from interest. It's amazing how we do those things, but this is where we are, so.
May I suggest, Commissioner, that
Please
we
do.
just, skip number 11 for now and do the 12th one. And of course, there's only one candidate.
Yes,
But
there
he would
is.
fall under the
Yes.
public safety, where, I
Yes.
understand his experience in healthcare for the other one, but that would be my
Yes,
suggestion, and then repost the other one or whatever
Yes.
we need to do.
I would put a motion forth that we repost resolution, the position for expertise in healthcare and hospitality, so we can get that started at this point.
Is there support?
I'll support it.
Support.
Moved and supported that we re-advertise or repost the position on the opioid settlement steering committee in the area of healthcare, hospital expertise. Is there discussion?
So, Mr. Chair, so.
Commissioner Brown, sorry.
So Todd is not eligible under that category?
So as I understand it, Mr. Withen is in category 11 and under resolution 12. And in resolution 12, I can say, I think that Mr. Gould is withdrawn. So that really means that we've only got Mr. Withen in 11 and in 12.
I guess we could do it with the other, we could do it the other way also. If you guys want to, we could send out 12 again, but I think Commissioner Kuzno's recommendation was a simpler way to do it and move forward.
Motion on the floor is to repost, so let's speak to the motion. Mr. Lloyd?
So, I actually would prefer to repost the public safety one to have somebody else represent in the public.
You want to make a substitute motion?
I can make a substitute motion to repost number 12 and maybe even coordinate with, the sheriff or whoever to get some more interest who's actually in public safety right now. So that's my motion.
Commissioner, let me get support first. Is there support? No?
Support. I'll
Support. So we have a motion to substitute. The original motion is to repost expertise in healthcare hospital area. Now we have a substitute motion to actually repost having expertise in public safety. Commissioner Kuzno.
Why don't we just repost them both?
I withdraw my substitute motion.
So do we have another, you want to substitute reposting both for the,
He's withdrawn his, that solves that conundrum, or I can't even pronounce the word like you can.
You did good.
Or no, Sean did. But at any rate, that solves one of them. We'll be voting for, with them
Oh,
on the public safety.
I'm so sorry.
Commissioner Lloyd?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Commissioner Kuzno. When you had mentioned posting both of them, I supported that idea, so I withdrew my substitute to allow for room for another motion. If,
So I understood it the way you did when Commissioner Kuzno said it, that, do you want to repost both 11 and 12?
Yes, let's do that. This solves the problem that we're running into at this moment.
Okay, so substitute, go ahead, Commissioner Shoemaker. So the motion on the floor, if you've withdrawn yours, is to repost the position or the expertise in healthcare and hospital area. That's the main motion right now. Commissioner Shoemaker.
This has been going on a while. We started this, put this out in beginning of December. Am I correct, Mr. Freeman? Is that when we did? I just hate having more and more positions unfilled. It's kind of what I did in my sheet. I was trying to do the math of who I thought was qualified, where we could put them, because their expertise can fit in different areas. And the one way we had it come up that would spell doom for us as far as figuring this out happened. I just like to move forward with one. I don't care which one, just because guess what? We had a date. Todd Withen should not be penalized because, and say, oh, we need more as far as that goes. Plus, we got to get this committee going. It's time to get moving, and the more people we don't have on there, I just think one would be appropriate right now. I wouldn't care which one he goes on, but like I said, I just think we need to get this moving forward. But if it's the board's favor to repost them both, then we repost them both. But
Commissioner Lloyd.
I'm in favor of doing either or. One of the reasons why I'm in support of posting both of them is because Todd, who's an employee here at Genesee County, he's nominated for both categories, and so we know that we have him for consideration. But by reposting it, we're able to see who else may be interested from either category, and those of us who plan to support, Todd or whoever, we can select which category we would like for him to represent and then have options for the other. But I do understand the importance of moving forward, and I'm willing to do that.
So the motion on the floor is the original one, I believe, to repost only the one regarding expertise in healthcare. Is there additional discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion is carried. Commissioner Shoemaker.
Okay. Resolution. Oh, where are we at? 2026-0113, approval of one appointment to the Genesee County Opioid Settlement Steering Committee, expertise in public safety. We have one candidate, Jason Gould had sent an email requesting that his name be withdrawn. I would like that also put into, if we could, moving forward, the actual minutes, so we have those things moving forward when someone sends us that. I don't know if that's a practice we have now, but I think moving forward would be a good practice when we have withdrawal or anything else happen. So I will put forth Todd Withhoon, and we'll go from there.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Do we have discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Resolution 2026-0114, approval of one appointment to the Genesee County Opioid Settlement Steering Committee, expertise in judicial. I nominate the three candidates below.
Is there support? Discussion on the motion? Oh, no discussion, I'm sorry. Madam Clerk, would you call the vote, please?
Commissioner Lloyd,
Jill Nylander.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Jill Nylander.
Commissioner Getzinger,
Michael Stafford.
Commissioner Brown,
Jill Nylander.
Commissioner Avery,
Jill Nylander.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Michael Stafford.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Jill Nylander.
Commissioner Wayhill.
Jill Nylander. Is there a ma-
Nylander carries.
There's a majority for Nylander. Thank you. Commissioner Shoemaker?
Resolution 2026-0115, approval of two appointments to the Genesee County Opioid Settlement Steering Committee, lived experience. I nominate the four candidates below.
All right, Madam Clerk, would you call the vote?
Commissioner Lloyd,
Michelle Ryder.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Michelle Ryder.
Commissioner Getzinger,
Michelle Ryder.
Commissioner Brown,
Michelle Ryder.
Commissioner Avery,
Michelle Ryder.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Michelle Ryder.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Michelle Ryder.
Commissioner Wayhill.
Michelle Ryder. That one was unanimous, so congratulations, Michelle, if you're still here. We have another one, another vacancy or opening, I should say, on this. Madam Clerk, would you call the vote without considering Michelle?
Commissioner Lloyd,
Jose Lopez.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Antoine Croom.
Commissioner Getzinger,
Antoine Croom.
Commissioner Brown,
Antoine Croom.
Commissioner Avery,
Antoine Croom.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Broom.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Croom.
Commissioner Wayhill.
Croom. I believe Croom has a majority. Thank you.
Okay. Let me see.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
Yes, I'm just trying to eliminate
Oh, yep.
everything on the last page so I can. Deborah Hammond is also removed. Am I correct, Mr. Freeman?
4, 5, 6, 9, 18, 20, 22, and 23.
Okay. Let's see if I can get this right. Approval of 3 appointments to the Genesee County Opioid Steering Committee at large. One, we have Joseph Brown. Shaquanda Carroll. Henry Cole. Jessica Hale. Daphne Hammenberg. Ruby Ivory, Elizabeth Jordan, Dolores Langston. Is it Jose
Jose.
Lopez? Didn't want to be too there. Angela McCorder, Kelly Merrill, Allison Metz, Jocelyn Millender, Deonda Pratt, and is Michael Stafford still on there? Michael Stafford, yeah.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Shoemaker. Madam Clerk, would you please take the vote on the first of 3 appointments?
Commissioner Lloyd,
Shaquanda Carroll.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Shaquanda Carroll.
Commissioner Getzinger,
Jocelyn Millender.
Commissioner Brown,
Elizabeth Jordan.
Commissioner Avery,
Shaquanda Carroll.
Commissioner Shoemaker.
Millander.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Millender, I guess.
Millender?
Yes, I guess that's it, yes.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Millender.
Commissioner Wayhill.
Elizabeth Jordan. So you're going to have to,
Do it again.
no. Tell me who the top 2 are.
It's Carroll and Millender.
Okay, so we have to have a second round because neither of them got a majority. It's between Shaquanda Carroll and, which the other one was? Jocelyn Millender. So, Madam Clerk, would you call the vote?
Commissioner Winfrey,
Shaquanda Carroll.
Commissioner Getzinger,
Jocelyn Millender.
Commissioner Brown,
Carol.
Commissioner Avery,
Carroll.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Millander.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Millender.
Commissioner Wayhill,
Carol.
and Commissioner Lloyd.
Carroll.
Carroll carries.
With 5?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Ms. Carroll is selected as our first of 3 appointments in the at-large category. Madam Clerk, would you call the vote for the second appointment?
Commissioner Lloyd,
Elizabeth Jordan.
Commissioner Winfrey,
Elizabeth Jordan.
Commissioner Getzinger,
Jocelyn Millender.
Commissioner Brown,
Elizabeth Jordan.
Commissioner Avery,
Jordan.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Millander.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Millender.
Commissioner Wayhill.
I'm going to go with Jordan.
Jordan with 5 votes.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Congratulations, Elizabeth. I know she's here tonight. Madam Clerk, would you please call the vote for the third appointment?
Commissioner Lloyd,
Angela McCorder.
Commissioner Winfrey,
McWhorter.
Commissioner Getzinger,
Jocelyn Millender.
Commissioner Brown,
Millender.
Commissioner Avery,
McWhorter.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Millander.
Commissioner Kuzno,
Millender.
Commissioner Wayhill.
Jose Lopez.
Millender with 4.
Okay. So we have our top 2, Millender and McWhorter. Madam Clerk, would you call the vote? Second round?
Commissioner Lloyd,
Should it rotate to the next person? Does it start back with me?
Oh, sorry.
Should start with Commissioner Winfrey.
Commissioner Winfrey.
McWhorter.
Commissioner Getzinger.
Millender.
Commissioner Brown.
McWhorter.
Commissioner Avery.
Quarter.
Commissioner Shoemaker.
Millender.
Commissioner Kuzno.
Millender.
Commissioner Wayhill.
Millender.
Commissioner Lloyd.
McWhorter.
It's tied again, I
Yep.
believe.
Motion to postpone until next full board meeting.
All right. Moved and supported that we postpone to our next full Board of Commissioners meeting, a resolution that ends with 0116. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, Commissioner Shoemaker. This is not an easy task, made more complicated when we have categories that we're seeking to fill. But I will say that reading through all the resumes and the applications, we have a community that is filled with really good people. And one of my regrets is that we can't have all of them on these boards and commissions, but I hope that we can find something for these folks further down the line so they can serve. Commissioner Shoemaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for everybody for going through this process, and thank you for all the applicants. Like I said, as I was going through the apps, and we have some wonderful people in this community, I am so pleased to see so much engagement. And if you want to be involved, stay aware. Please put your application in for anything else you think you'd want to participate in. And just because you didn't get appointed to these committees doesn't mean you can't go to the board meetings. Doesn't mean you can't be part of still and participate. So I hope you would. And I'd like to say to our board, I said, you see that stack of paper we have on all of our desks that were printed out? That's a big difference compared to where we were even a year ago. So kudos to all of you. This has been a
Thank you,
ever-improving process, so I thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you to Vice Chair Winfrey for your involvement with that. Commissioner Getzinger.
I just wanted to bring up about the Parks and Rec other position, and we have another vacancy, although the vacancy occurred after we advertised. So I don't know.
Yes, let's is that a motion? You want to put a motion forth to advertise that position?
Support.
Okay.
Moved and supported to advertise a vacancy on Genesee County Parks. Is there discussion? This is for James Washington, who left that board after we had
So
gone
it's a
out.
partial term, it's a one-year term that expires at the end of, I believe, this year, I think.
Okay. Commissioner Shoemaker.
I think this is the right process to take because the position was vacated after we had already put the posting out and we listed how many we were gonna have. But I was wondering, for those who went through that process of applying and all the other applicants that were on there, my question is, if they're still interested, is there a way for them to go on there without having to put everything in there and just update their application instead of having to go through and, answer all the questions again and do everything else like that? Is there a way to do that?
Mr. Freeman.
We can reach out to them individually. I know that Jared has already reached out to all of them when we were notified about the process. And if they're still interested, then we'll just include them in the packet for the next meeting.
One last thing.
Mr.
And
Shoemaker.
And we're still gonna send the letters out to those who did not get selected. Thank you.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor to advertise the vacancy on the Parks Board. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you again, Appointments Committee leaders. Under reports of standing committees, we have the Board of Commissioners, Resolution 2026-0073. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved and supported, and I should read it. This is the approval of amendments to the 2025 apportionment report. And I think you've been waiting patiently for questions potentially. Do you have any, you don't have a presentation? You want to step up and just maybe say a couple words? Identify yourself if you would.
Hi, good evening, Melissa Hyduk, Equalization Director. We just had a couple special assessments that came in after we amended the apportionment report in November. And then there was a change to the way that the city of Linden levies their ISD. They're now levying it half and half instead of all in the summer, so.
All right. Do we have any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you for your work. Item 2, Resolution 2026-0079, decision on whether to grant or deny an appeal of a denial of a Freedom of Information FOIA request. Is there a motion?
I'll move it. Support.
Moved and supported. I think, would the proper motion be moved to deny? Is that your recommendation? Go ahead, Corporation Counsel.
I think it proper would be to move the item that, as it's written, to approve or deny, and then I can give you my
Okay, so
advice
I
on
think what they said falls into that category.
Yeah.
So I'll defer to you so you can share with us what this is.
give you the rundown here. It was in your packet, but the request originally was for any and all data collected by the flock security camera on Irish Road near Maple Road on November 7th from 7 a.m. through 9 a.m. and then 4 p.m. through 6 p.m. Your FOIA coordinator denied it for two reasons. One, because the county didn't have the record, and for two, because FOIA doesn't require a public body to, let me find the language, to make a compilation or summary or create a report. So those are the two reasons that it was denied. I looked into this. I talked with Lieutenant Nicholson. I talked with Captain Murphy. I believe Captain Murphy addressed this board at the last meeting or two about how this flock cameras work. And it's my understanding that the pictures that are taken by the cameras go up into, I guess for lack of a better, a cloud that is owned by the flock company. And so those images in the database do not belong to us. The only time they belong to us is if we, for law enforcement purposes, log into the system, give it an appropriate reason for law enforcement purposes that it's being accessed, and we download an image. Once the image is downloaded, then it belongs to us, and then it becomes our record. In this instance, there was no investigation done during those times on that date. So there was nothing downloaded. I don't even think anything was looked at during that time period, but nothing was downloaded, so there are no records. So that's why it was denied. And for all those reasons, I would recommend that this board, excuse me, deny the appeal and uphold the denial from the FOIA coordinator.
All right, is there a motion to that effect?
So move. Support.
Moved and supported. Do we have discussion on the motion? Commissioner Shoemaker, then Commissioner Kuzino?
I'm just a little confused. A yes vote will be to uphold the denial?
That is the motion. So there was an original motion on here to consider the item. The item was considered. It would be a substitute motion based on my advice to vote to deny the appeal and uphold the original denial.
So my motion is to
Deny.
deny. as
So
recommended.
a yes vote would deny the,
Deny.
Yes, that's what I wanted to make sure.
right. Commissioner Shoemaker?
Through the chair to Corporation Counsel. There's no video footage then of that? Is that what I understood?
That is what I understand, yes. Nothing was downloaded, so we have no records for those time periods on that date from that camera.
Are there records elsewhere, though? Just a question. So,
At this point, no, because it's my understanding that they're deleted, everything's deleted after 30 days
By flock.
by flock. So the way I understand it, and you might want to ask Captain Murphy, if there was a car that drove by that camera and a picture was taken, it was uploaded into the database that is owned by flock. But we had no, I'm told that we had no law enforcement purpose to go into the system during that time period on that date to look for anything and retrieve anything. So we've got nothing in
thank
our
you.
possession.
thank you.
Do we have additional discussion on the motion to deny the appeal? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Under Community and Economic Development, we have Dr. Beverly Brown, Chairperson, and Sean Shoemaker, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move Resolution 2025-2755, approval of a grant award from the Charles Stewart Mott Foundation in the amount of $730,000 to provide for the construction of the Fenton Road Phase 1 non-motorized trail project.
If it pleases the board, I'd like to move the consent agenda, the whole agenda, please.
So are you asking the Chair if she'd like to move it as a consent agenda?
I would consent to that.
All right, so the motion is to move items 1 through 3, is that correct?
Yes.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported to handle the business of CED on a consent basis. Is there discussion, or are there,
Has to be
With,
removed.
there is one point of clarification relative to number 3.
so do we want to separate that?
I don't think we need to separate it. I think if Mr. Bradshaw could just tell us
Okay.
the change with that amount.
Thank you. There's an updated memo. We got good news today. The grant that we originally had on the agenda was 400,000 and change. They notified us this morning it's 500,000, so we got a little bit of additional money. We just made a couple changes in the packet that you have there.
So do we want to just adjust the number then? So the $508,066.
$531,687.
There's a resolution attached.
And there's a resolution attached to the budget amendment.
We'll just substitute that resolution.
Okay. So do we need a motion to substitute the resolution? I put a motion forth that we substitute the resolution 2026-0035 for the resolution that's in front of us, increasing the amount of dollars we're receiving to $531,684.
Moved by Commissioner Shoemaker. Did I hear a support from Commissioner Winfrey to substitute the updated resolution with new dollar figures for what was in 0035? So we'll take that. We'll vote on it. Is there discussion on changing it? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Now we're back to the original motion of passing all 3, I think, as a consent agenda. Is there discussion on that? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you, Dr. Brown. Do you have a report?
No, I don't. Thank
No
you.
report tonight. We have the Finance Committee next, chaired by Martin Cousineau and vice chaired by Gary Getzinger.
Yeah, by consent, I move items 1 through 6 and 9.
Support.
All right, it's been moved and supported to move as consent items 1 through 6 and number 9. Are there any separations?
Number 1 will need to be updated.
Yeah, the separations are 7 and 8.
Just number 1 will need to be updated. You've got
Yeah.
the updated job
All right.
description there.
So I'll mention that I finally achieved my objective in doing my homework on Resolution 2619, which is the Chief Strategic Growth Officer. And if you look at your places, the job description has been updated to remove the pieces that made it sound like this role would report to anyone but the Genesee County Board of Commissioners. The key sentence would be the last one in the first paragraph under job summary. Says this position is appointed by and works at the pleasure of the Board of Commissioners.
Yeah, I noticed that, Mr. Chair, and I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Is there discussion on 1 through 6 or 9?
I have a question.
Commissioner Lloyd.
It escapes me. Who is this person reporting to? I know what the line says, but what does the reporting look like?
So this job description reflects, Anita might be able to help me, but we don't have reporting lines, I think, in any of our job descriptions to a particular person. But I'll let her.
Good evening. Through the chair, that's correct. You could, but typically our job descriptions for appointed positions don't speak to who they report to.
Commissioner Lloyd?
Thank you. So that answers the question, but it doesn't answer the question because we have a number of department heads and such, right? In their job descriptions, or it's not in the job description, so, but they report to someone. My question is, who does this person report to? Who will this person report to? I know that the language says works for, pleasure of, that kind of thing, but who, is this person reporting directly to us, like the director of administration? Maybe that makes it more clear in the corporation council.
You're looking at me, but I'm gonna throw it to my colleagues here. Commissioner Kuzno?
Yes, through the chair. All of our directors report to this board, so this new position that we're creating would not be any different than anybody else. Now, we do have standing committees that oversee those various departments and et cetera, but every one of us has access to any one of those directors at any given time. So it keeps us all on equal par with each other, rather than giving, one person authority that all the directors or certain directors has to report to that person. Do you getting my drift?
Yeah, I'm totally clear.
So,
Yeah, that's,
like earlier today, I had a meeting that I requested with Crystal, and various people were invited with it, but, anybody has access to Crystal for any information at any given time. Same with all the other departments. And, I just, being Crystal's the finance CFO, and I'm the finance chair, I'm in contact with her all the time. But I encourage her to answer questions that anybody may have. And then, of course, I asked her to come up and give a presentation on 2 items earlier, just to keep everybody up on board, but she does not answer to me.
sure.
She answers to each and every one of us the same.
Yes, I'm clear on that point. I appreciate that, but I'm totally clear on that. What I'm trying to understand is who is the person, reporting to? Because I know that there's some symbolism on the board that, and I'm not trying to get into the discussion I'm not trying to get into, but there are some of us that believe that the department heads report to our director of administration, right? I'm not trying to go down that road tonight. I'm trying to understand with this particular position, is this a direct report to the board, like the director of administration and corporation counsel, where the corporation counsel is not reporting to the director of administration? You get what I'm saying? So because this is a brand new position, I'm trying to be clear and understand who are they. They all report to us, all department heads, director of administration, corporation counsel, right? But we just went through evaluations. I'm not trying to go down that road either, where we evaluated who we believe our direct reports are, right? So that's suggesting that everybody else is reporting somewhere else, right? So I'm trying to be clear as we vote on this, is this person reporting to Josh, or is this person reporting to the full board, like our director of administration, corporation counsel? That's the only question I'm trying to get clear.
I understand where you're going there.
Yeah, yeah.
And, maybe I could suggest at a near board meeting to assign that to one of the standing committees.
Okay.
So it reads, so it's the same thing as all the various departments are. And I don't care where you assign it. I mean, you know, you can assign it to Public Works, you can assign it to economic development, finance, I don't care. It's just, and then that would be the reporting mechanism, if you will.
Yes. Yes.
But each and every one of those chairs, I don't think they, really report to anybody. They talk and they discuss things, and you have to, as a chair, you have to kind of oversee that.
Yes. No, I appreciate that. This is awesome dialogue, and I mean no disrespect in it. And everything you said, I agree 100%, so we're on the same page. The specific question I'm asking with this position is it like the corporation counsel and director of administration? Or is it like the other departments who we don't, well, we haven't voted on that as a board. That's a discussion we gotta have. But, Mr. Chair, do you understand the question I'm trying to ask?
I do, but the conundrum is that all of the department head and higher level job descriptions, as Anita just confirmed, I think, or all of them or almost all of them do not indicate in what we've adopted that that who the person reports to. They all have this statement, which I pointed out at the beginning, which is this position is appointed by and works at the pleasure of the Board of Commissioners. So that, when Commissioner Cousineau indicated, I guess back in December, that he was concerned about the wording that was in here because there was sort of wording about reporting to committees and chairs and members of committees, and he wanted to make it clear that this JD was in alignment with all of the other job descriptions. So Anita and I worked offline. We really worked online because it was via email, but offline. And I inserted, based on what's in every other job description, that last sentence. So I understand what you're saying, but none of our JDs speak to that. So I'm not sure how to answer your question.
Yeah, I was just hoping that, I'll digress and ask some questions offline. That's something we should have an answer for as a board. It's a brand-new position. We're getting ready to post this job description. Folks are gonna apply. We're gonna be interviewing. That's a basic fundamental answer that we need to have, because we know how we handle these two positions. We know how the other department heads are handled. We need to be able to say if this one is handled like this, or is this one handled like that? But I do understand the pieces about committees, and I agree with the language that's been changed about it not reporting to, say, for instance, just the chair of economic development or government ops, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm totally fine with that, but we need to know who is this person reporting to.
Anita, you wanted to, thank you, Mr. Lloyd.
To help clarify and maybe address why there's some confusion, is in the Director of Administration job description, it speaks to who reports to that position. So while this current job description and other appointed job descriptions don't necessarily directly say who they report to, it's from the Director of Administration's job description. So
Do you have that in front of you?
I
Would you read that section for us?
there's a couple lines. Shall be responsible for reviewing, disciplining, discharging board-appointed officials as directed by the Board of Commissioners, and then consults with and directs administrative staff and department heads in carrying out Board of Commissioners policies and meeting program objectives, which kind of leans into reporting to the Director of Administration.
Yeah,
So that's, I think, where the confusion has come in. I think it's fair to clarify for any applicant who they're reporting to, if it's the board as a whole or that Director of Administration. I think if it's, the job description is silent or the board doesn't decide, then the default is that it goes to the Director of Administration.
All right, thank you for that piece of information. Commissioner Shoemaker.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna get to, is the default is it's gonna be, if there's no statement in there, because both our direct reports and their description is reports to the board. Am I correct in how that is written, if I believe? Anita, am I correct on that? No, you're fine. Our direct reports, how's that written for our direct reports? How's that written in their job descriptions then?
Every appointed job description that the Board of Commissioners appoints, like mine, any department head, it is what we put into this job description, appointed by and works at the pleasure of the Board of Commissioners.
What about the direct reports? What makes the direct reports different than what makes Brian different than your position, as far as in?
Because the
in
board
that?
said so at some point. I don't,
That's not a good policy.
if Josh might know, because he was involved in the transition from Corporation Counsel going from the prosecutor's office to the board. I don't know.
I believe the job description, I don't have it up in front of me, for the Corporation Counsel states that appointed by the board and day-to-day supervision by.
I think you're right, by the Director of Administration.
His job?
Let's make sure Commissioner Shoemaker is,
Please go ahead.
okay, let me make sure anyone else that hasn't been able to, Commissioner Lloyd.
So if I'm hearing right, so did I just hear that the Corporation Council, based on this job description, reports to the Director of Administration?
I don't know if it
And-
uses the word report.
And let me say this. I'm not trying to stir the pot. I was just looking for clarification on this one, because when this has been in different forms, I support it, so let me be clear. But the discussion this has evolved to a couple different things. My understanding was that, like the Director of Administration, like the Corporation Council, this position, which is a very important position, would be like these two positions, where they report directly to the board, right? And of course, no one person has more power, Commissioner Cousineau eloquently established that. So that's the reason why I asked the question, because I just want to make sure that this role, that we captured appropriately, reflects that. Now, if I'm hearing that, based on the job description for Corporation Council, that I think that's what I heard, then he also reports to Director of Administration, then we got to have a conversation about this, because I wasn't aware of that, and I don't know if I necessarily support that, and that hasn't been our practice. You see what I'm saying? So
I'll just say that I don't know if this date's right on here, but we did adopt the Corporation Council's job description when we had the transition from the prosecutor to Mr. McMillan, and I think it was adopted unanimously, but I can't say. The very first line is, under general direction of the Board of County Commissioners and daily supervision of the Director of Administration, oversees and manages all civil legal affairs of the county, its departments, agencies, committees, and all elected and appointed officials. That's the first line. Additional, so let me see where we're at here. We have a motion on the floor, consent agenda for 1, 2, and 3, and we're speaking, the discussion so far has been around 1. Do we have additional discussion on any of the 3?
That's more than 3, but
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. You all are testing me here. So we're actually under finance. It's 1 through 6 and 9. My apologies. Discussion thus far is around number 1. Do we have discussion, Mr. Shoemaker?
I don't have any more discussion. If we could just remove 1 for me from the consent agenda. That's the only thing I have. I don't need more discussion.
I don't have a problem.
You're removing 1 from the consent?
I would ask to remove 1, please.
That's number 1? Okay. Number 1 is separated, so now we're on, under the Finance Committee, the consent agenda is 2 through 6 and number 9. Do we have discussion?
Well, maybe I should read number 1, and then we'll have a discussion with that, and then take a vote, and then move on to the consent
Okay.
item. So I move Resolution 25-2619, approval of a request to create, post, and fill 1 Chief Strategic Growth Officer position.
Support.
Moved and supported. Is there discussion?
Sorry, go ahead. You're reading.
There's no discussion? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's
Okay.
carried.
Now I move 2 through 6 and 9
Support.
as consent items.
Okay, consent agenda's been moved for items 2 through 6, and number 9 is their discussion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Commissioner Cousineau.
Okay. Resolution to be considered 26-0047.
Move it.
It's been moved and supported. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion is carried.
Okay, now for consideration, Resolution 2026-0048, approval of a salary for the Director of Administration.
Move it. Support.
Moved and supported. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nay. I'm opposed.
I think we'll need a roll call vote, Madam Clerk. So this is Resolution 0048, approval of salary for the Director of Administration.
Commissioner Lloyd,
Yes.
Commissioner Winfrey,
No.
Commissioner Getzinger,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown,
No.
Commissioner Avery,
Yes.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzno,
No.
Commissioner Wayhill.
Yes.
5 yeas.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Motion is carried.
If you will, give me just a minute. I want to give a brief report.
So, okay, thank you, Commissioner. Please.
I don't know how much of these two papers were handed out to everybody. I know that the first one is from the Greater Flint Health Coalition. And I know that the president, CEO, has attempted or maybe talked to everybody already about this coming proposal that will be on the agenda in the near future. If anybody has any questions about that, I would encourage them beforehand, maybe in our next workshop, to talk about it just a little bit. But also, there's a report I requested, and I don't know if this got handed out to everybody. You didn't get pass this out, did you?
I just
The
got it this
EMS study?
afternoon, yeah.
Okay, you're all aware of the EMS study that we authorized to have done, and they did all the reports and stuff. But where we're at with the next step with that is I asked them to propose some goals that we can look at, proposals, if you will, short-term, mid-term, and long-term, to help facilitate making the EMS system as well as we can, to help save lives, to function better. We're running under a system that is really quite old. But there are suggestions that the experts have recommended. And so I would definitely like to pass that out to everyone, Mr. Freeman, and add that to one of our workshops to talk about it. Other than that, I'm through.
Thank you, Commissioner Cousineau. Next committee is Governmental Operations. Chairperson is Del Rico Lloyd. Vice Chairperson is Sean Shoemaker. Mr. Lloyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to move items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 as a consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, if I could have removed 1, 2, and 4, please.
Did you say 1, 2, and 3?
4, please.
1, 2, and 4. So, Mr. Chair, I'm moving item number 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
3, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are moved under consent? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Forgive me,
Item number 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported. Consent agenda reflects items 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Mr. Chair, item number 1, Resolution 2025-2778, approval of a grant from Region 3 Homeland Security Planning Board in an amount of $30,000 to provide for the renewal of services for 10 existing flock cameras.
Is that a motion?
Yes, sir.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported. Is there discussion? Commissioner Shoemaker.
At our last meeting, I had requested where our data is going when it's being taken, if everyone remembers. This is, it's hard to believe that we don't know where our data is being sold or who's it being given to, because the new currency is data. That's what it is, and they can take it and profit from it. my frustration is, one, I don't have it where it's being, it might take longer than that, but I'm not gonna approve this simply on the fact that this is what we've done. And it helps, yes, it helps, but guess what? If they're taking that data and selling it overseas, or they're selling it to other agencies or organizations, we need to know. And before we approve that, we should know, because how embarrassing will it be to approve something, then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're selling our data to another country? I'm just, like I said, without knowing that, you know, and on top of it, what measures do they have to secure that data? Because when those pictures are taken, just because it went up there, as everyone knows, if it goes onto a server, even though you delete it, there's ways to get data off there. So like I said, I need to know that. I thought we'd have that, but we don't. So as of right now, I'm a no. I encourage everybody else to just back this up a little bit, because that's a big approval. What we're asking for is when we don't know where that, these are our residents. Some aren't, but there are residents. They're driving through, and guess what? It picks up that image, even if you're abiding your own business. If that license plate tracker, every time it takes a picture and it has a good enough AI attached to it, and they want to do it, they can tell where your car is. They can track your car. They can track you. And I'm not saying that Flock is. What I'm saying is,
So we're not taking public comment. It's at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully there can be some, because this needs to be talked about.
So you can email us or meet with us when the meeting's done if you'd like. Okay.
so like I said, I'm very concerned with this. We hear of all the hacking. We hear of all the other stuff going on, and personal information and stuff like that. And I'm not worried about our staff abusing this. What I'm worried about is when it leaves our system, because they're not really looking at all of it. We heard it tonight. They're not looking at those. So, like I said, I'm not comfortable with it anymore. I mean, I know it's used to secure things, but at what cost? You know, thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome. Do we have additional discussion? Commissioner Lloyd?
So this is the acceptance, the approval of the grant award, so we're accepting the grant award. Is that correct, Mr. Freeman?
Also approves the contract.
Okay, so that's what I was just getting ready to ask, because a lot of times this is, we approve the grant, then we spend the money. And your concern is about the, knowing where the data is going.
Well, one, where the data is going, who has access to it, okay, and how it's secured. It's a different world we live in. There are people, that's their full-time job, is just to grab that data, and on top of it, it might not be that nefarious, but if they're selling someone's information because they're tracking their license plate around, because every time a car drives by, and if there is an incident, then we go to Flock as far as the sheriff's department, and then they go, oh, we want to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what Flock is doing with that, and we don't know who else is a corporate partner or anything like that. So for me, it's just not a very comfortable situation.
Let me ask a question. I know we normally just move these items, but that's an interesting piece. Through you, Mr. Chair, to,
I'm sorry. I'm
oh,
trying
that's
to
okay, we're working.
figure out
Through-
what
through-
everyone knows up here. So you have the floor.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, to Mr. Freeman. Are these existing cameras that are already installed? They're already in use?
Captain Murphy, do you want to approach? He can help.
Yeah, and they are existing. This one is existing.
Okay.
So am I right that Captain Murphy sent an email to Mr. Freeman
Yeah.
and the Corporation Council on this topic?
He did. I thought this was to the entire board, and my apologies for not forwarding it. There was 2 questions that were asked at that board meeting by Commissioner Shoemaker. The first one was, does Flock sell data? No, Flock does not sell that data. And what measures does Flock have in place to secure data? And he talks about multiple layers of security in place to ensure the integrity of the data. I could forward that stuff to you. It's my fault that you did not get that.
So for me, so by vocation, I have security responsibility for our entire organization and our executive protection units. We utilize cameras, of course, across the country, and we use third parties who store that data. It's not stored by us because the cost would be crazy, and having a space to store it and that kind of thing. And like companies that we use, They don't store the, they don't sell the information. They do have access to it. If we need it, we can access it through them. And that's consistent with like another number of companies I know that we bid. So for me, this isn't much different than what at least I've seen. And so I'm comfortable moving it forward. I'm assuming that whoever bidded this piece with Flock or the sheriff's department, I'm sure, you know, am I right to assume you all had those kind of conversations, understand where is it being stored? Can you access the data, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Correct. It's stored by Flock or who they choose to. We don't store any of that unless, like it was spoke about earlier, we download it for an investigation.
And then they generally have rules about how long, you know, vendors who do this work have rules about how long they store the data, just like the other piece we talked about earlier today. So I'm comfortable with it. And so my motion, I'll keep it on the table. Thank you for the information you shared.
Do we have additional discussion or questions for Captain Murphy? Let me make sure, anyone on this side? Commissioner Brown?
My question, thank you, Mr. Chair. My question is, if we do pause this, but it sounds like we've gotten a response already about the multiple layers of security, but if we do pause this grant award for existing Flock cameras, does it render those existing cameras unusable? Or what does it do to our existing program?
I don't think it's gonna, we're using them right now. I believe this is just to get that grant to pay for that time period.
Okay.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
Yes, thank you. My assumption, Dr. Brown, would be, guess what, since the contract was up basically in October, that it would probably just keep going, but that's, I don't know. But I understand it's been sent to me. I haven't had a chance to look it over. And just because it's there are different ways of storing data. There's server farms, you know, there's data centers and so on and so forth, where you're sharing actually a large server. And guess what? And that's how you see all these hacks come in, and where they steal people's personal information or what, anything else like that. They're in someone else's system, or they can get in their system. And that's why I want to know what they're doing to secure the system. Because just because you have something in place and say you're being secure, we see these banks all the time. They're secure. They'll tell you, yeah, we secure our data. Guess what? And every time we open the, well, not the paper, I'm aging myself, but we get on our phones and we see the data or whatever else like that. It's, something's being hacked. I just, like I said, I don't want to slow it up. I understand it's used by them, but not seeing that to me makes me really uncomfortable, because I just know what can happen, and we see it every day. We read it every day. We're in a new era of warfare on the American people, and that is their credit and the whereabouts of where they are and how they're using that information. And like I said, I just don't want to contribute to it by accident. So I appreciate that it works. I know it works. And I know it's not I don't believe our people would ever abuse that system. My concern is someone outside. And I don't, like I said, I didn't have a chance to read it over because I didn't get it. So like I said, I'm just going to be a no until I can look at it. And then if I think it's great, but I'm with Dr. Brown, is there a way we can hold it up? Because I'd like to vote for it if it's right, but if it's not, I would.
So, Mr. Chair, I'll withdraw my original motion to move it and make another motion to postpone it back to committee. If there's support, then I'll give my reason why I'm okay with postponing.
So the other option is that we could push it to next week's full special meeting that we now have, because we have the ability to vote next week, even though it's a study session about the retiree. Or you can send it to committee.
No, that's fine. I'll make a motion to postpone.
You might want to do that for number 2 as well. I don't know if the same concerns apply. I would imagine they do.
Yeah. So my motion is to move item number 1 and number 2 to our meeting next week.
Okay. Is there support?
I just want to make sure that's not, is a week going to be okay for me to look that over?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wait, okay. Like I said, I don't want to cause too much trouble. I just, like I said, I'm really concerned with it. I see it happen all the time. And I just want to make sure we're doing the right things. Like I said, I don't believe anyone in our staff will ever abuse this, but there are outside actors in this world, which you guys see regularly, that are not thinking of everyone's best interest. So thank you.
Did we get a support for that?
I'll support it.
Okay, it's moved and supported. Commissioner Kuzno.
I don't have a problem with postponing it, but unfortunately, in our day and age, you know, there's always a risk with all this. I mean, even back a few years ago, when I don't think anybody but Shoemaker and I was here, we got held hostage at the county, which created a big problem. So we always have to try to keep everything updated as we can. But, you know, if Mr. Shoemaker wants to take a little bit of time to investigate it a little bit further, I don't have a problem with that.
Do we have additional discussion? Captain Murphy, can I ask you a question? I'm not sure if you know the answer. So security is one issue. I think it being in the cloud, as I understand it, adds to security, but we'll figure that out between now and next week. The question that I have is of the other agencies that have access to this information, aside from Genesee County Sheriff's Department, so local, state, federal, I heard, international perhaps, do we monitor whether those agencies are drawing down data from our cameras? Do we know that, or do we not?
I don't think we know directly. We probably could get that answered from Flock. And there's been a lot of talk about other agencies. We share it with local police, other agencies in the state, and you know, around the nation. I don't think we share it with any federal or international.
Okay, if you would check into that and have that information for next week, I'd really appreciate it. Other discussion? All those in favor of postponing to the next meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Mr. Chair, lastly, Resolution 2025-2843, approval of a purchase order to Pinnacle Design for the fiscal year ending 2026 in amount not to exceed $2,451.00 to provide for the purchase of a lobby podium at Genesee County's Clerk Register of Deeds office. My motion is to move it.
Is there support? Moved and supported. Is there discussion?
Thank you, though, for removing it.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion is carried. Mr. Lloyd, do you have any more items or a
No, sir.
report?
No report. Thank
No
you, Mr.
report.
Chair.
Human Services Committee, chaired by Charles Winfrey, and Vice Chair James Avery.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move items 1 through 9.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Model of efficiency. This committee. You guys should be moved up, I think, and go first. All right, is there discussion on the consent agenda?
Mr. Chair, the department has requested that item number 5 be dropped. They no longer need that.
Without objection from the mover, the maker of the motion, and the supporter, will drop item 5.
Yes.
No objection. All those in favor of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Any report, Mr. Chair?
No report, thank you.
Thank you. Public Works Committee, Commissioner Brian Flewelling is the chairperson, and Commissioner James Avery, vice chair. In Commissioner Flewelling's absence, I will call on Mr. Avery.
Yes, I'd like to offer to move resolutions 1 through 5.
Mr. Chair, if I may remove item 1, I have to abstain.
Item 1.
Item 1 is a separation.
Please.
Any other separations? All right, so we'll take the motion as moving items 2 through 5. Is there support?
Support.
Moved and supported. Do we have discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion is carried. Commissioner Avery?
Yes, item 2777, approval of a request by Genesee County's Sheriff Office for a lease agreement with Susky Chevrolet Buick.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Do we have discussion? Commissioner Shoemaker?
One, I'm going to abstain from this vote. I mentioned that last week. But the other thing is just so you know, we are not activating on these vehicles the OnStar, even though they are our vehicle at this time. So it's something this board needs to take up, whether we want to do that or not. The rest of our vehicles, are if they have the tracking device, are supposed to have it. So that's a question we are going to have to work on, something we should probably discuss in a workshop to see how we want to go with this. And if we don't, we just need to put it into policy that that's how we're going to handle it, so it's handled correctly moving forward. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Great. You're welcome. Do we have additional discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Abstentions?
Abstain.
One abstention. Mr. Avery, do we have a report?
No report.
No report. Another efficient committee. It appears we have no unfinished business unless I'm mistaken. So no unfinished business. We also, we have a closed session And I'll mention that I'm going to invite Captain Murphy into the closed session with us, given this involves the Sheriff's Department, as I understand it. So, Mr. McMillan, would you lead us into the closed session process?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. As you're well aware, the Open Meetings Act allows this public body to enter into closed session under MCL 15.268 subsection 1 subsection E to consult with its attorney regarding trial or settlement strategy in connection with specific pending litigation. Today we have two cases specifically. The first is the matter of Ronald Rice versus Michael Schuyler et al. It's U.S. District Court case number 24-CV-11637. And the second matter is Mark Milkowitz as personal representative of the estate of Carrie Milkowitz, deceased, versus Genesee County et al. That's U.S. District Court case number 20-CV-10017. We've got our outside counsel here that's requested to speak to you about trial or settlement strategy. So I would ask it would be proper to make a motion to go into closed session, and we need 6 votes via roll call.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll on this, the vote?
Commissioner Lloyd?
Yes.
Commissioner Winfrey?
Yes.
Commissioner Getzinger?
Yes.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Commissioner Avery?
Yes.
Commissioner Shoemaker?
Yes.
Commissioner Kuzno?
Yes.
Commissioner Wayhill?
Yes, we have our 6 votes. We are in closed session. Are we moving upstairs? 10th floor? Just so the audience knows, when we exit closed session, we will come back here and come back into open session, either have conversation or simply adjourn the meeting.
Oh, they leave right there? Well, here you go, sir. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. They do it much better than I do, so I'm glad they do it most of the time, because this is not my normal. Here, do you want? All right, man. I was told by Dominique that I should go unless.
Wasn't talking about you, Mr. Avery.
We've got that, recycling company coming Friday to pick up our IT recycling stuff. They're just gonna go right on the side. We are gonna need that forklift to pick our stuff in the bin and take it up. So I just know when they're coming. I'm gonna say somewhere around 9:30, 10 usually. We'll be here at 1. Yeah. I hope that include that pallet of cameras and everything down there? Yeah, they're gonna take that too, all of our IT stuff, and they gotta hopefully make a stop over at McCree and pick up a printer. They got like a Xerox printer or something over there. No, and the printer that's supposed to be here in the basement. Printer in the basement? Like a printer or? The copier, yeah. For you guys? No, for the whole building. No. By the garage, there's a spot for one, workstation. just got it. She sent it out. Wow. Saying she didn't get the link that I sent her. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Can't be perfect all the time.
Yeah, she came down here and tested it to make sure it worked, but it was with somebody from the county's email, so it doesn't work with external.
Of course it doesn't.
When the election's coming up?
We'll have a May election. Yeah, because why would we do it on anything on normal election time, like August and November? No, we gotta have a special. No, it's always the school districts. The school districts don't have their head in the game in any way. We have one precinct in the county that's in Birch Run schools. Birch Run schools always put something on. They just sent the stuff in today. Linden schools, will go in May, and Grand Blanc schools probably. We talked Davidson schools out of it, but at this point, might as well. And then we'll have in August, we'll have
They got board positions or something?
No, it's all proposals, trying to pass millages and stuff, and the millages don't pass. Of the permanent ballot list, all the snowbirds and all the people who don't normally vote in May elections, now vote in May elections. The reason that schools were doing that, putting them on May, was because they knew there'd be less of voter turnout, so they would maybe push their proposal through. That's not the case anymore, but they haven't caught up on that. Because they don't listen to me. Yeah, and then August and November will be pretty big.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's an even year. We'll have this is the first time that we've had a vacant state senator seat, or not state senator, federal senator. It's the first time that we won't have an incumbent running for senator and for governor at the same time in the same election. So that's going to require a lot of turnout.
So who all are governors or gubernatorial?
Who are our gubernatorial candidates right now? Mike Duggan, in the city of Detroit. He's running as an independent. Our current Secretary of State's running for governor. The current lieutenant governor, Gilchrist, was running, but he recently dropped from the gubernatorial race and now he's running for Secretary of State, which the Secretary of State race is also super crowded right now. Our very own Sheriff Swanson.
I thought he was finally governor.
He is governor, yeah, going for governor. I'm back in governor. Who else? I want to say John James on the Republican side, but I could be making that up. I think there was one other person, but I don't remember who. Yeah, and then there's just a bunch of folks running. The current Deputy Secretary of State's running. Gilchrist is running. Barb Byron, who's the county clerk for Hingham County, running. And she's friends with Don. I feel like there was a couple others too. That's just on the Democratic side, frankly. Yeah, we have. But thank God, because 2024, we had 4 elections that point. I know. Well, it doesn't help that I got all these seats.
Training galore now.
Majority of folks in that office all do the same titles, so I'll be doing the same stuff. My folks, on the other hand. No. I am worried that if we ever get more people, we're just not gonna have enough room, so the elections folks might get bumped somewhere else.
So, when you guys are doing the canvassing and stuff, where is that gonna take place now?
And, the past couple of times that we've done it, while we've been in this building, we just did it in all that.
2011? Public, kind of a public space.
Well, it's a public meeting. But
It is, or is it just?
it's a board, it's a board of canvassers, so that's what I normally take minutes for, is those four. And, they don't know how to do references, but.
Point of order.
Yeah, no, they don't, never once has there been a point of order. They canvass all of it, but it is available to the public, like public comment, public can come and watch.
I didn't know that they were public.
Yeah, so that, like, I have to post it and all sorts of stuff, so, yeah, it's very public. And then, when the canvassers felt some type of way for being in a room that was all glass, and I'm like,
That's part of the reason why I didn't think that.
well, I would like to remind the board that it's a public meeting. There's gonna be people watching you no matter what, doesn't matter where you do. But they didn't wanna do it down there. So Don pulled some strings and wanted to do a good chunk of it. The boardroom upstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 'cause that's like the only other room available. So a good chunk of
You
it.
mean a bit available because of size?
Yeah. Yeah, because we have to have room for the public, like, otherwise, if it was just four of them and me, we would do it in our little conference room that's attached to our office, but you gotta have room for the public, and there'll be there'll be municipalities coming in and like running stuff through tabulators, because the stuff's all messed up, so it's like we need space.
We're about to redo, this room 205, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there was limited options, and I don't know what the heck is going on, because I was trying to find one day that I could reserve that room down there in March. It was blocked off for the entirety of March. Who has access and has blocked it off for all of March? I went every single day. Blocked the entire day, every day of March. And I'm like, who did that? Because I can't see. I can only see that it's booked and that Aaliyah would not give me any wiggle room. Yeah, our other option was the upstairs room. So some of it will be done up there, but not all days because we couldn't get all of them. So some days will be downstairs.
Oh, treasurer's birthday.
Oh, is that their?
Almost 7 a.m. to
Hopefully,
5:30.
that's probably their overflow for their winter taxes. That's disgusting. Sorry. As someone who's gonna have to stand there and compete with the treasurer's people who are standing there for the bathrooms, you didn't have to defend the podium today.
No, bummer.
We were waiting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, I was the backup in case you couldn't do it, so I'm just glad that you were here.
What you do, drop a short straw, you have to stay?
That's exactly what I said.
I've never done this before.
No?
Exactly what I
No,
said.
I am like the
You
backup.
volunteered?
No, I'm the backup to the backup to the backup, and I also happen to live the closest to the office.
Oh, nice.
No,
Short straw.
yeah, Michelle wasn't feeling well, so she had to get out of here like quickly, and I was like, well, yeah, I know, right? No, I'm like 5 minutes away, so I was like, I guess it's gonna be me. I've never conducted a round robin before, but we'll see.
Throw you in.
Yeah.
You know, Skylar took the job over at JJC.
Yeah. You got short straw.
Tell me.
Oh, wait, is this promotion?
Yeah, he's actually, yeah.
No, for you.
Oh, no. Yeah.
We'll see how this year goes,
anything,
though,
you
you
got
know.
them over.
The meetings are gonna be much longer because they're condensed into only a couple per month.
I told Skylar that, I said, you took a good time.
Yeah, he picked a great time to segue on out of here. I felt bad that organizational meeting, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That was 2 in the afternoon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That started at like 9, and went all day. I know because Michelle was up here instead of doing work for me downstairs. Like, where is she? All the meetings still going on.
Now all he does is set up Chromebooks so that the students can, or the people can talk to their lawyers. That's all he does.
Involves more than that. I mean, that sounds good, but that's gonna get, you have to use your brain and, you know.
Well,
Of course, now I think about just mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Give me 8 hours sitting on the tractor or something. I don't want to have to think. Or defend a podium.
Yes. Honestly, maybe I wanna go mow lawn for 8 hours.
Guys do need something down here, but it's kind of, I don't want to say unorganized, but
Yeah.
it's kind of, nobody, unless somebody calls somebody's name, you don't know.
Exactly, which is kind of what we're trying to avoid, but the issue is that, the podium has to go through Pinnacle, and so it's more expensive than if we were not going through through Pinnacle, and make a fucking money.
Well, it wasn't just a podium, it is a chair. I mean,
Better be real nice.
it's Western Michigan. I mean, it's got a
Yeah.
12-year warranty on it. I mean, you get
Yeah.
what you pay for sometimes. I mean, I do believe podium, he probably could have went with something. But you can't always, you know, get to pick and choose. That's how we ended up with a montage of crappy board, you know. Because departments are gonna get something from Staples.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, I've tried to end that because it comes in 5 boxes.
Yeah.
Then I get a work order to put it together, minimum wages to, you know, and that furniture does not hold up.
Yeah,
And you
no.
guys are gonna be pushing this around.
Yeah. It's okay, I'll test drive it, I'll make sure that it still functions, so.
I don't know, you know. There's a balance.
Yeah, cause right now, like, we're just kind of, like, the greater situation, and it's not ideal.
And so many people order furniture, you know, at Hutch's, and you can't return that. It's all really
Yeah, it's all like,
junk.
yeah,
I mean, that's college furniture that you get from
yeah.
IKEA or wherever.
Oriented strand mower,
You know.
plywood, press.
Front door breaks off,
Yeah, it's over.
screw it or glue it, it's
Yeah.
just garbage.
Speaking of boards, in my lab, we got the gray cabinets that don't have handles on the doors to open the doors.
They don't. Holes where there's supposed to be handles.
You have to actually smack it and make it.
Like a gas can door in a car where you push it in and it flops open, or you're smacking
No,
it
no,
with
no,
a-
it's not like that.
Alright, well, remind me, look at it, because that doesn't sound right.
I mean, you can't open, I mean, they close shut. There's no handle.
bevel top that you can grab?
No, nothing. butter knife.
Yeah. Yeah, let me get in there with the butter.
Ah, but if it was just had some small handles on it, just to open it. I don't even use them because I can't get in them. The time that I was using them, it's like, I can't keep smacking this thing.
You're never gonna get a nice thing ever again.
Doesn't sound right. I think well, I don't know if I told you, but they are gonna come and they're gonna replace this entire top of the podium, that podium and only the top, and I think they could remove all the microphones without, changing the wiring. They'll need a little bit of direction probably.
Got a meeting with the company Apex or something, and the company that put the sound in, because the Q's just is not working. Well, I don't know if it's the Q's or the mics themselves. These mics work great, but
They're wired.
they're wired and they're more omnidirectional, like you can speak from here and here. Those, if you're not right here, you can barely hear. So,
Probably because it has an
well, we got some guys that's supposed to be coming Friday. We're convinced that the other company don't know what they're doing. We had them up here 3 or 4 times. And we still got the same problem. So we're looking at this other company.
Under a second opinion.
Yeah, just tell us, can you tell us, what your thoughts are? So if you see us fishing around up there, that's what. Yeah, we normally do.
If you'll have me, right? All right, we're back in open session, and the chair would entertain a motion on our first case, which is resolution ending with 0081.
I'll make that motion to accept the attorney's recommendation.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Do we need a roll call on this, or just, okay, voice vote? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. Entertain a motion on resolution 0095.
I'll make the motion to accept the attorney's recommendation.
I support.
Moved and supported, Cousineau and Brown. Is there discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Motion is carried.
Move to adjourn.
We are, all right, we are adjourned.